What prompted the ANC in Johannesburg's motion of no confidence in Mayor Herman Mashaba? Will the ANC in the city ever come to terms with occupying opposition benches? Why is the DA against the use of a secret ballot to decide the motion of no confidence? Why is the ANC saying Mashaba's administration is ruining the city's financial position? What time is it? It's question time. Gauteng, Kurula, Muraro, my name is Mpotse. The debate on whether the courts are being dragged to intervene on political battles is back under the spotlight. On Tuesday night, South Gauteng High Court acting Judge Sydwell Shangisa struck the ANC in Johannesburg's bid for the use of a secret ballot in a motion of no confidence in Herman Mashaba and Speaker Vasco da Gama off the roll. Acting Judge Shangisa said the matter was not urgent. The ANC says it has lost confidence in Mashaba, accusing his administration for adversely affecting the city's finances. In response, the DA says there is no provision for the use of a secret ballot in the metro. They also say the ANC's case is frivolous and an attempt to unseat the party in Johannesburg. Meanwhile, the ANC has indicated its intention to take the matter to the Constitutional Court. We are live, and if you can call us and air your views, the numbers to dial 089-110-4210. Our Twitter handle at QuestionTime24. My guest today, Jolie D. Matongo, is ANC Johannesburg spokesperson, and the DA's or the mayor of Johannesburg's Luyanda Mfeka is supposed to be here, and when we spoke to him earlier, he said, well, I'm 10 minutes away. I'm still finishing something off. So we don't know which is which. So we're hoping that the office of the mayor will be represented here by Luyanda Mfeka, who is the spokesperson of the city of Johannesburg's executive mayor, Herman Mashaba. But Jolie, welcome to the show. It appears there was nothing wrong when the ANC was in the majority with motions being voted for by show of hands. But this time around you want a secret ballot. Why?
Well, times are changing. We didn't have a coalition government 5 years ago. We have a coalition government now. We voted through the use of show of hands. We've seen in Parliament the DA requesting and the other opposition parties requesting the ANC Speaker to allow them to vote through a secret ballot, which was granted. We are simply asking for the same from the DA, and they are refusing.
But why should we trust you as the ANC in Johannesburg, here in the city of Johannesburg, that is, that you mean well? Because it may just be sour grapes. You don't want Mashaba because you believe you are entitled to the city. You've been running it for as long as it was established.
We don't for a second believe that we're entitled. We've learned our lesson through the outcomes of the elections in 2016. We can't be arrogant as the ANC. The voters have said to us, the current image of the ANC is a problem. If you don't fix your own internal problems, we will shy away from the polls and not vote for you. So we are not entitled to govern the city, but after an assessment of the performance of the DA under the leadership of Mashaba over the past 1 year, we feel that the city is really going down the drain. They presented a 10-point plan, and according to us, when we assessed them, of the 100% that we're supposed to give them, we only gave them 20%, and that is precisely because our assessment tells us that they have not done very well. In fact, the city is teetering on the brink of a financial collapse, and we think that if Mashaba was to provide over the administration of the city for one more day, then the situation will get even worse.
Okay, let's go to Moms. Jonathan, welcome.
Hello, Mpo.
Hi, welcome, Jonathan.
How are you?
I'm well. Thanks for the call.
Yes, thanks. I just want to ask the gentleman there, please, can you let Mashaba do his job and let the DA continue doing their good work? They've been uncovering corruption stories surrounding the Johannesburg Metro, and all of a sudden you want a motion of no confidence. Doesn't make sense. Like,
but Jonathan,
what is this about? Yeah.
There's been a motion of no well, a lot of them against President Zuma. What was wrong?
I can hear you, Paul.
I'm saying there were other motions of no confidence nationally where the DA wanted President Zuma out. Isn't it part of politics?
Yeah, but reasonably so. But for Mr. Mashaba, I don't see any reason why he should face a motion of no confidence, because he's been doing what we voted in for. But the ANC doesn't see it that way around. Like, that's the problem with the ANC. They just don't want to see anything good happen in South Africa. They're busy fooling everyone. That's the problem with the ANC.
Okay, Jonathan, thank you very much for the call. Well, give us the reasons why Mashaba must go.
Well, we have said in our argument that the city is on the brink of a financial collapse. When we handed over power to the DA, MMC Rabelani Tagada of the DA in the third council meeting praised the ANC for having left the city in a good financial state. Yeah. But as we speak now, the city is really struggling. When we left, City Power had a cash positive balance of 1.7 billion. As we speak today, they are on an overdraft of over 400 million. So, and City Power is one of those institutions in the city that generate a lot of money, and that money from City Power is used to cross-subsidize other departments so that service delivery is done. So it is quite clear that the DA is really failing, our city is going down the drain, and we are really doing our job. It's not about leaving Mashaba to do his work and we just have to sit back. The DA will not tell you that in 2012, just a year in office, in the previous term of office of the ANC, they brought a motion of no confidence against Speaker Bapela of the ANC. Yes. So it shouldn't be a surprise that we are bringing a motion of no confidence against the Speaker and the Mayor. But the real issue is that our city really is going down the drain. 45% of the electorate in Johannesburg elected the ANC to be in the council, so we are doing our work of being an opposition party, and our work is to ensure that the DA does what is supposed to be done, collect revenue, deliver services. So when they fail to collect revenue, like they've failed to collect revenue to the tune of about 2.6 billion at the end of the financial year, what are we expected to do? Are we expected to sit back and say, well, they are doing their job?
Sono. You are
and I must also greet your guests there.
Yes.
You know, my advice to the ANC, what are the good work that is doing by the Herman Mashaba? ANC, they've been there in the city for more than 2 decades.
Yes.
They've completely failed the people twice. All what they are capable of is corruption and stealing the taxpayers' money. We are badly suffering all around the country. Now, within such a space of time, just a 1 year period, because Herman Mashaba is busy sitting onto their neck, interrupting the corruption they've been doing. Nobody can believe in those people. Now they want on the votes. The voters, they never give them the votes. So what are they looking for? To come and steal our money again. Sorry, Paul. Tell them, shame on them.
Wow, I think thank you, thank you very much, Sono, there in Rustenburg. Well, obviously, Johannesburg being the economic capital of the country will always attract views and expressions from all over the country. I'm trying to check here. Do you think you will win this motion if it is secret?
Well, we will win the motion. Part of the confidence that we have is derived from the many requests from DA members in the council who have come to the ANC and say, we are sick and tired of how Herman Mashaba is running our city, and why are you guys not presenting a motion of no confidence on him? It's one of the reasons why we have asked for the motion to be done through a secret ballot. Now, they will say that the rules don't allow for a secret ballot. Yes, the rules don't allow for it, but the rules do not say you can't have it. And the DA can't be hypocritical, because in the meeting of 22 August 2016, we set aside a rule, the dress code rule of council, because they relied on the votes of the EFF, and the EFF had arrived wearing their overall. So that rule was set aside. So when we say that we want a vote by secret ballot, we don't think that there is a harm in that particular request.
Okay.
We're asking council. Remember, this is a motion that is to be presented to council.
Yes.
Councillors, in their wisdom, can decide at the council meeting whether they accept a recommendation to have the vote by secret ballot or not, as we did in the meeting of 22 August 2016, when we were requested to suspend the dress code rule to allow the EFF members to participate and vote with the DA to put Mashaba in place. So it can't be a question that the rules don't allow it, the rules allow it, and all of that. Okay. So we're just saying, get the issue to be discussed in a council. If council says in its wisdom, we don't want to vote on this motion by secret ballot, well enough, we will vote by show of hands.
Okay. Well, let's go to, is it Mamelodi again?
Yes.
Okay, welcome.
Hi, Mpo, how are you?
I'm well, thanks for the call.
Yeah, it's Dan here from Mamelodi.
Yes, welcome, Daditin.
Okay. Mpo, what appears to me here, it seems as if ANC, they are just testing the ground. Even though I'm not a DA fan, neither the EFF. However, I think it's about time that the ANC should just play their part as opposition and then learn and then lick their wounds from what transpired in 2016 local government elections. Yes, the DA might not be perfect, or they might not be doing what is ANC is expecting them to do. However, let them be on the sidelines. Let them warm the benches of opposition and then to watch everything how it unfolds. It appears to me as if they are angry, they are bitter, and they are testing ground. Whatever that the gentleman is saying, that some of the DA members approach them, to me it's just a cheap politicking. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Dende. Well, I guess, this is what we were hearing at the National Assembly there. Members of the ANC were saying, members of the EFF were saying, hey, there are members of the ANC who've been talking to us. We know they will vote with us if the motion is secret, which is what happened. And I guess you're turning the tables now.
Definitely turning the tables. But remember, the requests come from them. We have not approached them because we thought that they will toe a party line. But surprisingly, they came to us and said, why are you wasting our time? We don't need this guy in power. Okay. Some of them even said to us, look, we will support you to remove the man, but we may not support you in putting another ANC guy.
Okay. Well, let's take a quick break. I'm told the spokesperson of the mayor is here. So 089-1104-210 is the number to dial.
The only way to pour the perfect beer, this professional barman would tell you, is into a glass tilted at exactly 45 degrees. Oh, bless you. Bless you, sir. Bless you again. Well, we'd say the perfect way to pour a beer is at this angle. Straight into your mouth. Tops its bar. Good beer, good advice, no Ponzi beer stuff.
Welcome back. You're still watching Question Time. Our guest today, Jolly D. Matongo, is the ANC Johannesburg spokesperson. And now we have Luyanda Mfeka, who's the spokesperson for the mayor of Johannesburg. While he arrived late, he says he was in an accident. Okay, that's fine. You're here. Now, why do you, the DA, postpone reports in council when the EFF is not there? which has now resulted in the delay of adopting next year's IDP?
So I don't think there's much truth to that one. It's not a question of postponing when the EFF is not there. I think if we're going to speak about why the EFF isn't there, it's best to address that to them. But this is about the IDP, in actual fact, was postponed because the ANC decided to walk out of council yesterday. And we both know how important the IDP is for planning purposes. So in order to do what they couldn't do on Tuesday night at the court proceedings, is basically force their way back into government, we saw the ANC decide to walk out, which was very unfortunate. That's why that particular report came through, fell through rather. And that's to say that it's just purely because, the EFF isn't there. That's not really the case.
But it's not the first.
It's not the first time the ANC has decided not to cooperate in council, where we want to deliberate motions and deliberate documents, and they simply won't have it.
Okay, I'll get him to respond, but we have one of our loyal viewers here. Welcome. Lagasa? Hey, where's Lagasa? Lagasa?
Yes, how are you?
I'm well.
Hey, Khotombo.
Ayat munna Lagasa mullo.
Le guy barudi.
Awara tsoga man rubishal na kadina muneng.
Awanga le kuile.
Mre.
Ntabije ba khala ba ka fa.
Watamile munna geshu.
Mpo, let me go straight to the point.
Yes.
Let the DA sit down and relax.
Okay.
Mr. Mashaba is doing his job.
Okay.
ANC has done a lot of mistakes in Johannesburg. We've been owing Eskom a lot of money. So now Mr. Mashaba is busy rectifying their mistake.
So they must not get him to go.
No. And we're busy going to rectify what the ANC mistakes on 2019. Let them relax. We're going to give them the proper life.
Okay. Well, I want you to respond to what he has said as well.
Well, it's not true what Luyanda has said. He knows himself that at the council meeting of 31 August, the DA could not muster the quorum because the EFF was not present at the meeting. The executive decided to withdraw 14 reports from the council meeting because they thought that the ANC will reject those reports. Those reports include the financial performance of the city.
Yes.
And we want them that the financial reports are Section 71 reports that are required to be processed on time by law. They refused to put those reports in the council agenda. In fact, they withdrew them. We asked for the reasons. Why do you withdraw the reports? They just said, no, it's our prerogative to withdraw the reports. Then we said, well, we're dealing with an arrogant administration. Well, we will step aside and leave them to the meeting to continue. And unfortunately for them, they didn't have the quorum to continue with the meeting. They brought the reports yesterday, including the IDP report.
Yes.
And when we said to them, what are the reasons for delaying with the submission of the report? Then they said to us, remember that there was no quorum in the last meeting. Then they said to us, we have already submitted a letter to the MEC asking for extension for submission of the IDP plan. Then we asked for a letter, and it was quite a struggle for them to simply produce a letter. Finally, they produced a letter, and then they came up with a different explanation. Then they said, no, you see, the letter was written by the mayor, but sent to the city manager to send to the MEC. Doesn't work like that.
Okay.
Political aid to political aid. Now they lied to the council.
Why are you lying to council?
Firstly, they said, we have submitted the letter. They brought the letter and said, we didn't submit it.
Is the letter submitted on the basis?
Okay, but you know what? I want us, he's giving us facts here that on a particular date you postponed the reports, or you withdrew the reports because, and I'm putting it to you, because the EFF was not there to vote with you.
And I'll put it to you quite differently. The people of Johannesburg voted for a particular government on the 3rd of August. The EFF chose to not be at a particular sitting. That's up to them, and that questions about that need to go there.
No, I'm not asking you about them.
What they did do by virtue of doing that is they created a potential situation to hand council back to the ANC. That's exactly what the people of Johannesburg didn't want, and for that reason we can't deliberate particularly important documents that are necessary for governing the city and simply hand it over to the ANC and go, well, guys, you guys decide because you have the majority in this particular situation. No. If council is to fully deliberate on those documents and give weight to what the people of Johannesburg wanted, it needs to be discussed with the full council, with everyone present there.
Okay, so we are on the same note that it's because the EFF was not there that...
No, me and you disagree on the reasons. This is not about the EFF.
Yeah, but
this
you're
is
saying everybody in council must be there.
Well,
we are agreeing that it is the EFF that wasn't there.
Well, the EFF wasn't there, fine, that we can happily concede to that.
Okay.
But it's the underlying reasons about why it's critical for those people to...
Now, the Speaker does as he pleases. The meeting is scheduled for 10. He convenes it at 9 without consulting the other whips.
So what the point is, though, is that discussion that should be had with the mayor's office, or better, the discussion that should be had with the speaker's office. You see,
well,
the point.
The motion
is
for the two.
The point here is that if there is the motion of no confidence is based on the idea that there is supposed bias, and let's explore that a little further. If there is, then and you want to run this motion of no confidence, and you want to run it in the particular manner that my colleague here would want, by secret ballot. There are many mechanisms for which to do that internally. Before we run to court claiming that there's urgency and the court then is forced to go, no, there isn't urgency, and in fact then gives punitive costs to the cities. Go, you've wasted all our time.
Are you scared of the motion?
Of course not. The opportunity to sit in council and finally debate not only the government's record of service delivery, but also then to speak to the rampant corruption we found when we got there. We've uncovered almost 15 billion rands worth of corruption within the city and had to arrest almost 300 million people. Those are cases that the other government used to have.
300 million people.
I mean 300 people.
Wait. Well, there's Anonymous on the line. Let's take Anonymous. Welcome.
Yes, thank you, Poman, once again.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, basically, first and foremost, man, I'm a member of the DA.
Okay.
Well, I still am, as yet, yeah. Look, Mpo, I want to draw a very bigger picture of what is happening in our politics in South Africa. Is that, the challenge that we're faced with is a lot beyond even Luyanda Mfeka. And I believe it is a lot beyond even the gentleman from the African National Congress. But what I want to advise is that the gentleman from the African National Congress must just listen to this very carefully. President Zuma must stop referring to black members of the DA as black stooges. The ANC Youth League president must stop referring to EFF members as monkeys. EFF president must stop referring to ANC members as ANC cowards. If that can come to an end, I am telling you, not even in the next local government elections, but these coming 2019 elections, South Africa will come out stronger and go back to what it used to be under the late Nelson Mandela and the former President Thabo Mbeki. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Anonymous. I'm going to give you closing arguments here, if I may call them. Let me start with you.
So as far as we're concerned, we're more than happy to have a motion of no confidence. We think it's a fantastic opportunity to once again speak about our record of service delivery.
A secret one.
The question about a secret one really comes down to what are the rules that exist within council.
Yeah, but you have agreed to waive.
Council is a creature of statute. So we're saying we've agreed to have the motion of no confidence subject to the ANC bringing it in line with the rules of council. So what that means is that what council requires in any case is that each person says what they're voting for, and you can't vote for that. This is not the National Assembly where discretion was allowed in that sense. The two are different.
Let's deal with the corruption narrative. They still have to prove the 15 billion rand worth of corruption that they've uncovered. We have asked questions in council. We have asked them how many cases are on the table. Which audit firms have you used? How much have you spent on those corruption cases? What value has the city derived in terms of the amount of money that you have spent?
Okay.
They have refused to answer. They've just ran away with the answer. So the narrative on corruption is still yet to be dealt with. But we can assure you that they themselves are corrupt. And in a short while, we will be bringing to the public the type of corruption that the DA under Mashaba is bringing.
All right. Unfortunately, we've run out of time. But yeah, that was question time for today. A big thank you to my guests and to you for watching the show. From me and the entire crew, you have yourself a wonderful time. Ibe Khotsi.